I know you're seeing the purple, which is interesting. Again, they're selling items,
Yeah.
right? They're selling items. You may not stage with purple. However, you may have an eccentric client on a design project that loves purple. They want the accents. But here in the showroom, this is, of course, design showroom at Nebraska Furniture Mart. We have the
Yep.
luxury of being here in Dallas
Yes.
and having this in our backyard.
Yeah.
What are you seeing? What are you drawn to when you look at space like this?
Yeah. So from my perspective, what I notice is a intense charcoal, rich browns. We're going into that more masculine feel, even with the light and bright. There's a trend toward, I'm seeing it in the artwork. I'm
Yes.
seeing it in the floor coverings. And then even on the new chair and couch systems that we saw in International Builder Show, they are emphasizing that natural wood.
Yes.
They're bringing that in, even into the more elevated pieces. It's less about rustic. I think it's more timeless, which I'm seeing in this room. For example, you know, that piece right there, it's very clean.
Sure.
It's got that modern line. However, it's also a natural wood tone. And even on this centerpiece, they have the open seams at the corner.
Right.
So you see from a hand-built feel, it still is a very modern, very elegant piece.
This is a timeless piece. What I also love about it is, say we were staging with this piece.
Yes, ma'am.
It's lighter, but also it can go into a large space.
It fills.
So we're seeing people that actually do 2 coffee tables together side by side. Well, this would alleviate that.
Okay.
It's a great piece that allows us to just continue to be transitional. You can dress this up, you can dress it down, and it can be in a wonderful main living space. But hey, we could also use this in a game space that is a larger area.
Yeah, so it's built for durability, kids,
for sure.
family, even probably pets. It's built for that. The other thing that I also noticed, Jana, is to your point, it has an elegant feel, but it also has a masculine presence.
Absolutely.
Without being overbearing. So
absolutely.
Is that something that, you know, you would be prone to use and say, hey, let's take this and let's use this as a centerpiece and build around it?
Well, you can see that even in this space, there's a lot of dark furniture.
Yes,
so even on I would say we need to lighten this up.
Okay.
And so if you're having a dark piece that is anchoring the space, let's lighten and brighten with, you know, some nicer pieces that are going to be a little bit of that lighter contrast to it. Okay. Your area rug, your artwork's going to help too, but having a dark piece of furniture with dark sitting space may not be something that you want. Now, if this is a cool, intimate zone, you know, again, going down to an office or
right.
something that is more masculine, those darker pieces are going to help pull that out. But the lighter is going to brighten it up.
Gotcha.
So you can imagine this piece with an area rug around here. I mean, we still have in this zone a little bit of the same.
Yeah.
But this is a great piece here. And that's going to be able to just also transition from room to room.
Yeah. And I actually like this feel because in contrast to what you were describing with darker and darker, we have a centerpiece that's dark, but
yes.
It's built around, again, a light and air lift. You've
yes.
got I don't know if that's a taupe. Is that a taupe color? An off-white?
No, I mean, it's a lighter off-white color for sure. And I think you can find the taupe. But what's so cool about this rug is it blends everything together.
It pulls everything together.
You know, so your artwork, your area rugs are in a blend. And it's going to allow for the space to change out too. So you get a nice staple piece, you know, a couple of core pieces that are going to be your pricier pieces. Then you change out area rugs. You change out the accents. Obviously, this piece here is going to be better suited for, let's say, a dresser or a console table that's maybe against a wall, not necessarily
in a family room.
In a family room on a coffee table, but they're selling. They're selling, right?
Yeah.
So watching your height of items as well.
Okay.
You can imagine you've probably been in the situation where you're at a dining table and the main core decor is just, you can't even see the other person. So you got to think about that.
You're moving stuff out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So love it.
Yep.
Lower pieces on your coffee table. And then of course on any place that you're having conversation across the room is going to be key. Lighting, always great. You know, if you check out the lighting, which light would you say do you love? You know, here as well as it's a lot, right? Throughout this space, there's a lot that we have to choose from. And I love that they are giving us some of these showcase lighting is like art. It's like jewelry, right?
I was noticing that's like tree branches.
It is. It is. It has a theme.
Yes,
has a theme. Yeah. So I know we in our high-rise apartment in Dallas, you know, putting a piece that is a statement piece just really lightens a room. And it can just give, it can be a conversation piece, but it also allows people to go up. It draws that eye up and it brings light and bright and airy into space.
Speaking of lighting, one of the factors that always comes into play, whether it's new or old, is lighting from the top down. I noticed that, like, even here, one of the attributes of the fixtures is they become a statement piece because they're not the main source of light.
Right.
We have a well-lit room where the fixtures themselves, because it's a recessed or a canned lighting system, your eye doesn't notice that piece. It actually is drawn to that. And so then that becomes actually a statement piece, like you were saying, versus this is the light source for the entire room.
Right.
And then you have that shadow feel where you're always like looking like what is wrong with this room.
Right.
But when you light the room fully, then it allows you to accent your pieces without depending on them to light the room.
So from your construction background, you're really seeing that accent lighting, the recessed lighting. It's almost like lighting the light, the primary, lighting that space fully, almost a 360 light.
360 light, because one thing is it puts you at rest because you're not straining, you're not trying to see, so you're relaxed and you can actually take in the different elements of the room, even like we were talking about, all the way from the floor coverings to the fixture itself. So now I can enjoy my centerpiece. My eyes, my brain, my body isn't fighting, you know, what's going on in this room. There's not that contrast, that push and pull. And I noticed that because in construction, that culture doesn't necessarily think that way, right? And so that's one of those things about being in the design, the creative, the staging space. We're able to say, hey, wait, even if this is about practicality, at the end of the day, it really is about beauty.
Yes.
And
beauty.
so
and full scope, right? Full scale of the room.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let's check out the area in here. Again, this is their design space. It allows them to not only sell items, but show different styles. And we have design companies, we have staging companies that are trying to select pieces that will, you know, highlight space, right? That's first and foremost. But even at a staging concept, we've got to think about pieces that are going to be durable, that are going to transition home to home. So this might be a piece that I'd stay away from.
Right.
Why would, can you imagine? Can you imagine 20 homes that this goes through?
Yeah.
So you are. I love that you're looking at the seams. You're looking at color.
And even the angle, Jana, it sets up where it's going to get bumped. It's going to get brushed. It's going to get hit.
And I'm like, okay, is this light, you know?
Yeah.
And it goes into these legs, these pencil legs. How easily are they going to break? Can they puncture through something in the truck, right? So we're just looking at all types. So it's not just like, do I love this piece?
Right.
When it comes to staging.
Okay.
Is it going to be a piece that's durable, sustainable, and can literally do 20 turns, 20 different properties, and can stay in our inventory literally a good 3 to 4 years?
Wow, I wouldn't have thought about that. That's a really great point.
So when we're at market, that's what we need to not look at first layer. First layer, do I love it?
Right.
Is it second layer, is it the right price point?
Right. Okay.
Third layer is this going to be a sustainable product?
Okay.
Because I might need to go with something that is a little bit more, you know, easy, like a darker chair.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And can we change out the maybe we paint the legs when we need to, right? Is it going to be something that we can keep in inventory? You know, if something goes wrong, a leg gets messed up, we can at least paint it a different color, if it makes sense.
If it makes sense.
Dollars and cents.
Dollars and cents. Yes, ma'am. So on that side, like practically speaking, when you're buying a piece, you're looking for those 3 layers, but then you're also taking into account, if I have to repair it, if we have to modify it, we can also, that's a
easy.
4th layer
it's easy,
that should be taken into consideration. Okay.
And then let's go 5th layer.
Yeah.
Maybe we want to sell this.
Right.
Is this going to be a piece that someone could purchase? Maybe it has a little bit of a dent or a ding, but it's still valuable.
Okay.
It's unique, right?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
It's not something they can go find at their big box store.
Wow, I love that. And as a man, that's really good information, because obviously we're attracted to practicality. We're like, that's brilliant.
Right.
Yes, that makes sense. So if I'm in that space and I'm helping in that space, that's a layer of understanding that goes, okay, that is important.
For sure.
It isn't just all about the glitz and the glam.
Right.
There is a
that is
layer.
the I guess you could say a seasoned staging company versus maybe the newbie that's just coming in.
Okay.
And when you look at glass like this, you know, glass stagers love.
Do they?
Why? Because it lets the eye go through the space. It actually doesn't. You can imagine this being a heavy piece.
Yeah, you lose all of the interest.
We lose it. So that's the pro of the glass. Eye moves through it. Light moves through it. The con?
Yeah, it's breakable.
It's probably what you were thinking first.
Uh-huh.
It's breakable. It's scratchable. It's going to be something that's going to be difficult. Like, how does this move up? Can we break this down versus this being one piece?
Right.
I mean, this just is not a practical piece for staging just because of all of those elements.
Right. And it's heavy.
It's heavy. No one wants to lift this 20 times.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm like,
and turn it on its edge. Look at the base.
Yep.
So as a staging company, we're going to also look at the base of the table. You know, are we working with 4 legs versus a round base? How does this, you know, deconstruct and deassemble versus the assembly process?
Right.
So you're thinking at a new layer when it comes to staging.
Wow. I would have never thought that, but that makes so much sense.
Yes.
It's actually a very industrious way to buy furniture.
Right.
Right, because you're protecting your investment.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because that's how staging companies are going to make profit at the end of the day. How long can we keep that inventory in cycle?
Okay.
That is so huge.
Okay. I noticed, Jana, we were talking about white and light.
Look,
we already have fingerprints. And I'm wondering,
and a scratch.
How did we get a mark on the inside of a white chair? When, like,
here's the thing, people will sit. When they come purchase a property, they're going to sit down with their realtor. Well, I like that these turn.
They do, yeah.
But they're going to sit at the table. They may sign an agreement. That, you know, so who knows? What happens if someone sits down and that chair breaks?
So
we're looking at that. So staging companies love that something that's light, but then also is it going to be durable? It's going to hold weight because we cannot assume that no one's going to sit on the furniture. It's going to happen. Kids, you know, the family is coming to tour the space. They're running all over the home. We've got to look at that.